The golden era had some of the best physiques on earth, and they used some legendary equipment to make it happen. And one of those pieces of equipment has been lost to time. But today, with the help of our father, DIY Buff Duke, we're gonna bring that hidden piece of equipment back to life. All right, so what are some of the materials we need for this build?
Very simple. Some square tubing that's gonna make the basis and the uprights for it. A seat board, which is gonna be covered with this carpet padding, which is then gonna be covered with some upholstery.
And that's what I love about the 70s. You look back on the kind of equipment they used and how they got their training in. It was all relatively simple. And a lot of that was almost like a DIY build. I mean, you see the Roman chair in those pictures and it looks 100% DIY build. And that's why we appreciate it, but also what inspired us to build this one. So there's no schematics online, and we're going completely off the picture that we found online that Frank Zane is using, as you can see here. So just off the way it looks, we're gonna see if we can actually build it.
And I want to see you do 1,000
That's the goal. We're going to see if we can do it.
1,000.
So
now, hey, that's a challenge, right?
It is a 100% challenge. But first, we got to complete the first challenge, which is making this.
Yeah.
We got the plans. We got DIY Duke. Let's start building.
First thing we're going to do is measure 4 feet, and right there is 4 feet. Do the same on this one because this is the basic structure. From that point, we're going to cut this baby with the Sawzall. Battery power, nothing like lithium. There's one. Ow! Where's the ear protection? Jeez. So I think that's looking good, Brandon. It's like we got 21 inches in between the basic foundation pieces. These are 4 feet long. So we're gonna stick with this same square tubing, which is 1.5 inches by 16 gauge.
Next step, gonna cut these cross members. 21 inches, and then you're gonna weld these, correct?
Correct. Okay. Yep. Cool. And then we're gonna start with the uprights. But I gotta tell you, I can't remember the last time we did the DIY thing. It had to have been during the pandemic. Back to the shop, back to the basics, back to the physical part of getting buff.
Did you ever use a Roman chair sit up?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
First time for everything.
I did sit-ups the hard way, just on the ground. It was frozen that winter, 40 below, and I just did sit-ups.
Shirtless, shoeless.
Like naked.
Just completely naked.
He did sit-ups uphill and then sit-ups uphill going home.
As I walked to school.
It's like a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Doing sit-ups on his way to school.
If you just happen to have one of these cut-off saws, we're gonna use this instead of the Sawzall.
This is for beginners, and then this is for
advanced
DIY dukers.
Yeah. And then we're gonna plug in.
Gotta have that warmth. It's a necessity. And it just creates that nice ambiance in here, you know, all the smoke. Actually, our dad built this stove too, this wood stove. So this has been in the family for generations.
There we go. And we got a big welder over there, uses gas. This one's nice little, uses a thing called flux core.
You said this was flux core?
Yeah.
Okay. Do the Libyans know you own one of these?
You sold
the faulty pinball parts, didn't you?
88 gigawatts.
Listen, it's the Libyans!
There we go. Here, perfect. That's gonna hold it in place, and we're gonna grab the other one. We're gonna tack them all together and then do the final weld of all of them, make sure everything's square. Now you notice with the flux core, it's like a stick welding, it leaves slag. You can grind out or you can chip out. And there you see underneath is the weld. One of the good reasons why you just tack weld is this. See how the weld moves things from the heat? Now, it's way off here. If we would have solidly welded that, we would have had a hell of a time trying to bring that in. At this point, we're just gonna clamp that in and then weld, tack, weld. At that point, we'll be able to weld it fully. Then we'll be ready for the stand-up. So we got the foundation for the Roman chair built, welded up. So at this point, we're gonna cut the 4 uprights where the seat will set on. We figured, probably around 18 inches. We're gonna cut those over there and then build the cross members on top of the seat, and I'm gonna be ready for the seat. Let's go!
We're just going off the picture once again.
Yeah.
And this is just like a day build, so we're doing it as we go, and visually it looks about right.
And it kind of depends upon how big your butt is.
So if you've got a big ass, the seat might not be big enough.
And then the length will be just whatever this is, would be 24 inches.
Yeah, that's looking killer.
Yeah.
I'm just the collateral damage.
Yeah.
Damn, he doesn't even wait for the cameraman to get out of the way.
Driven by a mix of buffness and madness, the legendary DIY Duke harbors the energy of 1,000 dudes to bring the Roman chair to life. A chaotic mix of steel, wood, sweat, and muscles. A buff dude sight to behold indeed.
Hudson, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
This is looking fantastic.
Nice. So now we're at the point where we're gonna put this seat on, drill some holes, pull it back off, put the foam padding on and the vinyl, and then guess what's gonna happen?
1,000 sit-ups. This is looking fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, wow, it feels comfy.
Yeah, baby. It took a golden era bodybuilder to recreate a classic golden era bodybuilding piece of machinery. Now we are going to end this video by trying to hit 1,000 reps, just like Frank Zane supposedly did back in the day. It's gonna be brother versus brother. Let's get it started. So what would differentiate this from your standard sit-up?
Yeah, what's really interesting about seeing a machine like this and comparing it to a typical sit-up bench, one, your knees are locked in. Usually there's a foam pad that you lock your knees in and also your feet, and it kind of keeps your leg in place. Now with this one, you can really use a little bit of your legs through the motion. As you can see, there's a little bit of flexion and extension in Hudson's knees here. I think that adds a lot more comfort in there, but also there is no back support like a typical sit-up bench. Your hips are of course on the bench here, but really once you get in that plank position, you can have an extreme stretch in your abdominal section, and you can even go past that full range of motion, kind of almost like that hyper extension and flexion through this motion there. And I feel like that creates more stretch and a farther range of motion in the abdominal area, and it just creates a bit more stimulation in there. So I think overall with this one, there's just a lot more mobility in there. You can scoot your hips a little bit more forward or back. You can also do twisting in there. Again, really free flowing, just like so. Really an amazing exercise. And you'll see even some of like pictures of Arnold using this, where he actually kind of puts his weight on one side of his hips, kind of leans toward one side. He gets amazing oblique exercise there. It's kind of like that side crunch. So there's a lot of different areas you can hit, in different ways you can hit that core and stimulate it. And you know, looking back at the golden era, Frank Zane, Arnold, Franco Columbu, these guys using this type of machines, I mean, they had an amazing midsection. And this could be the secret right here.
999.
1,000.
Yay!
Nice.
You made that look easy.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We got to think of another one to do with DIY Duke. Let us know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh damn. That was almost
Can't even fit. Can't even fit.
Yeah.